another school shooting. Students are protesting with walkouts and others are calling for gun law reform. Today on Laker TV, we'll see what some of you have said about these issues. Plus, we'll preview the upcoming Calloway Idol program, take a look at the new Black Panther movie, and we'll prove that every Laker has a story. It's all coming up next right here. Welcome back, Lakers. It's Club T-shirt day here at Calloway, and I'm wearing my Laker TV shirt today.
This is the Calloway Glee Club T-shirt.
Our very own Glee Club.
Yep.
Well, how many people do you have in there? I was thinking about maybe trying out.
Well, we've actually reached our maximum capacity.
What is that?
Not Carol Spain. Anyways, we hope you've had a good week, even if it's been raining like crazy.
Speaking of crazy, we have a few crazy things for you today, including a new episode of The Current, a look at an interesting pet, and much more.
But first, let's start off with a more serious topic. With recent events that have taken place, victims of school shootings have rallied together to try to make a change in our government.
After Parkland, a large amount of people are begging for a change. One student called President Trump out on Twitter and basically said that they did not want his condolences. They want him to make a difference.
Claire Whiteside and I hit the hallways to ask faculty and staff what their opinion was on the nationwide school walkout and government reforms.
Nationwide school walkout? What even is that?
You haven't heard of the nationwide school walkout? The women's organization teamed up with students from Parkland and have organized a school walkout as a form of protest.
That's interesting. But anyways, here's Claire and Adrian with the story.
Have you heard about the nationwide school walkout, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I have. Well, I was going to walk out on it, but my mom said not to, so I can't.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's pretty dumb, and I don't know why everybody wants to do that. It's a personal problem. If you have any thoughts of doing something like that?
Oh, yeah, I heard about it on Snapchat, and I think that it's a good idea because it's showing other schools to, like, other students that people care.
Of course, this country is founded on a lot of, right to free and peaceful protest and things like that, so I think anything that brings attention to an issue is good as long as it's in the right vein. I don't think that, just boycotting school or things like that is the way to go. I think there's already quite a bit of attention drawn to the topic, so I think people are well aware, and I think everybody that is in administration and in law enforcement is doing their due diligence to take every precaution necessary to make sure students are as safe as they can be in our schools.
I think that there should be more thorough bag checks because they just kind of open it, rummage through stuff and close it and get it back. And since there's been like a lot of students bringing guns and stuff to school, there should be like metal detectors, like those wand thingies. So
I think that, like, there should be more people, like, law enforcement with guns in our school.
I know there's been a lot of call for arming teachers and things like that. I think we have to be very careful before we consider those types of things. I don't know that you combat guns with more guns. I could see scenarios playing out where if teachers were armed, and they tried to take down an attacker or something like that, there could be some collateral damage. There could be a lot of other innocent students, innocent bystanders get shot, and that would be, terrible for a teacher to have to live with.
I believe that we do need better control on guns, but we do not need to get rid of guns completely.
There are some answers out there, I'm sure, but I think we have to really delve into the topic more extensively before any knee-jerk type of reactions or solutions are implemented. I know a lot of schools are considering and implementing some wand-type metal detectors and things like that. There's going to be trade-offs to all of that. As it is now at Calloway, we of course do pretty extensive bag checks. Any of that kind of stuff is going to be time-consuming, and of course, the most important issue and consideration is student safety. But there's going to be trade-offs to anything that we implement, certainly.
Many kids in Calloway County own farm animals. This lady doesn't just own your ordinary horse or pig, though. She owns something a little out of the ordinary. Reporters Brianna Lockwood and Jenny Miller have us the story.
Junior Zoe Watkins is one out of many students who own farm animals. However, she is one of the only to own a llama. They named him Kapoo because that's the sound llamas make when they spit.
Well, whenever we used to have like this little crab apple tree, so whenever the apples came in, I would pick them and cut them up and give them out to the horses and the donkeys and the llamas.
People would look at being an only child a nightmare or a blessing, but all can agree it can be a little lonely. Being an only child, Zoe deals with this in many ways. She gets away by gardening and art. Her house always has animals ranging from horses and ponies to dogs and cats, her llama among them. Sadly, Kapoo met an untimely death in the summer of 2017.
It all started back 2 years ago. I don't know how he ended up with a parasite in his brain, but he ended up with one, and he lost some mobility in his legs before we caught it. The thing about llama's fur, it like gets really thick and makes them overheat. But since we couldn't get close to him, we couldn't shave him. Like the only time we shaved him was after we caught it, and he had to be like corralled and then tied to be actually shaved. He had a heat stroke, and he was okay from that one, but then a couple days later he had another one and then lost complete mobilities in his back legs, so he couldn't get up anymore. That was the only time I was able to get so close to him, and he still kept trying to get away. So we gave him a couple more days, but he wouldn't move, and we couldn't let him suffer anymore, so we had to euthanize him.
After Kapoo's passing, they buried him in the backyard. Zoe occasionally goes by his grave, but never gets too close, for good reasons.
Thanks for that, Brianna.
It's time for a quick break, Lakers.
Stay tuned, because we have a current, a short, and more coming up after the break.
I'm Kaylee Colson.
And I'm Madison McCallum.
It's time to assemble.
Wrong movie! It isn't out yet. We gotta talk about the new Marvel movie. It officially hit theaters last week.
We were gonna tell you about it then our show got bumped, scheduling, but hey, go see it now. If you haven't guessed it yet, we're nerding out about the Black Panther, Marvel's newest addition to the cinematic universe.
And look at this car flip.
The Black Panther picks up right after Civil War and follows T'Challa as he steps into the shoes of the King of Wakanda,
which is the most technologically advanced nation in the MCU.
Wakanda ends up getting mixed into a political wrestling match, and T'Challa has to put on the suit.
Put on the suit.
And team up with the CIA and Wakanda's all-female special force team to keep Wakanda out of a world war.
And look how he takes out this car.
A large amount of hype around this movie is because it's the first MCU movie with a cast that's almost entirely African-American since, 2004. And let's be honest, this movie looks amazing.
Yeah, the action looks freaking sweet, and the effects are top-notch. The cast is full of outstanding people, but we don't have to expect anything less than amazing from Marvel.
And look at this Wakanda.
We can't forget the mysterious post-credit scenes.
Oh yeah, don't be that one guy that doesn't stay for the post-credit scenes, because there's 2 of them after Panther.
Speaking of post-credits, it's time to wrap this up.
Until next time, Lakers.
Over the past several years, CCHS has held its very own talent show, Calloway Idol, in search of students who have astounding musical capabilities. The show is next Friday, so be sure to turn in $1 to your 4th block teacher so you can attend. Reporter Gabby Roof brings us the details.
And I just wanna get a taste of your love, sweet Miranda. Do you have room for one more troubled soul, my dear? Please let me in.
You just heard last year's winner of the 12th annual Calloway Idol. TJ Manus won out over several tough competitors.
In 17, the hot July moon.
You sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light again.
Accompanying these contestants were performances from 2 teachers and 2016's winner, Michael Akuda. Here's KK Evans for the scoop on the show.
Alright guys, so we are now 1 week away from Calloway Idol, and I'm so excited. We've had auditions this past week and they have been going great. We've had so much talent coming in, and one thing that I would definitely tell you guys is make sure that you audition. You know, if you don't get it the first year, it is totally fine. Just come back and audition. There's so much talent in Calloway, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it next Friday.
I'm really excited for Calloway Idol next Friday.
Me too. I can't wait to hear all the performers.
Unfortunately, that's all we have for you today, Lakers.
Keep crushing it, Calloway. You gotta do something.
That's funny.